I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright, thanks for coming out tonight, folks. Hope you guys are ready for some snow followed by slippery conditions.
Puddles and mud.
Yes, lots of mud. Okay. I'll start with, I'll go ahead and read the minutes for last year. The most updated version here. Okay. December 12th, 2023, 40 minutes. Select-board meeting was called to order at 6:05 with the Pledge of Allegiance. Members present: Joel Chapman, Bill Savage, Jesse Wallingford. Public present was Lori Hand, Deb Freno, Amy Corson, Cheryl Savage, Bonnie Bishop, Gail Eastman, Terry Phillips, Hank Phillips, Al Buzzelli, Martha Henshaw, Dorothy Henshaw, Lee Berry, Don Berry, Lori Swan, Pam and Ben Farah, Wilda Dunham, Galen McBean, Linda Glass, Mark Silver, Richard Estes, Jeffrey Kuhn, Cameron Hinckley, Doug Fournier, Marianne Haxton, Marty Elkin, Sue Runez, Susan Strout, and Sean Corson. The minutes from the select board meeting of November 28th were read by Savage. Chapman made a motion to accept the minutes, seconded by Savage, and so voted. The Sumner Fire Department Auxiliary was congratulated for hosting a successful Lights of Love celebration. Many families attended. Santa attended for photos with kids, enjoying hot chocolate and cookies. And that was pretty cute, actually. Soups were made by the auxiliary and sold, and they brought in a total of $2,680. Warrant number 10 was signed. Checks 15,192 through 15,131 for a total of $205,574. And receipts for $618,205 and 40.46% of the 2023 taxes had been collected. In open session, Mary Ann Haxton asked to have the Affordable Connectivity Program information added to the website. And Mary Ann, thanks to Susan here, we have successfully, completed. Done.
Well, ready to be added to.
All right, fair enough. This program provides a discount on monthly broadband bills for qualifying low-income households. As far as RSU 10 is concerned, Katie Chase was present and announced that she's interested in serving Sumner as the school board representative. I asked her to write the board a letter with her reasons for wanting to serve and her interest in the position. For the CEO LPI report, Fred Collins did not attend that meeting. As far as the fire department report goes, Fire Chief Doug Fournier announced that the fire department has been awarded a grant from the Tabitha and Stephen King Foundation for $38,000. Fournier also reported that new tires will be going on the trucks and that the trucks will be inspected at the fire station by Ripley, and Fletcher. An invoice will be sent to the town office. For the roads report, Sean Corson reported that the first snowstorm of the season went smoothly. For the animal control officer report, Sean Corson said he spoke with several shelters and found that the Harvest Hills Animal Shelter Agreement was the lowest at $913 for the retainer. Stacy Wallingford asked if the animal owner is responsible for any fees. According to Corson, the owner is asked to pay for care and any medical expenses, but the owner does not pay anything towards the town's retainer. Chapman made a motion to accept the agreement, which Wallingford seconded, leading to a unanimous vote. Chapman added that before next year's agreement, he would speak with Pauline Braun to see if a different arrangement could be made. Forms, reports, correspondence. The appointments of Diane Campbell to become town clerk, treasurer, tax collector, and registrar of voters were read and signed. The municipal building plowing contract has been awarded to Johnson Excavation and will be signed by the select board members following a thorough reading. The contract for installation of insulation by Matra Insulating Company. There was a down payment of $6,061.50 of the $20,205 total. The start date may be as early as January 22nd, 2024, with a plan of completing the installation in 1 day. The installation project is part of the Efficiency Maine grant that Marianne Haxton worked to acquire and implement. For new business, the Buckfield Sumner Solid Waste Committee meeting was held on December 5th at the Buckfield Town Office. It was attended by the select board members of both Buckfield and Sumner. Chapman said that the December 5th meeting was the first time he learned of any issues. Chapman praised the swap shop and the service it provides to the community. The original idea of the swap shop came from Mary Standard, Wilda Dunham, Dwayne Levitt, as well as Bill and Linda Glass had put much time and effort to keep the swap shop successfully serving the Buckfield and Sumner residents. The Sumner Town Report of 2017 to 2018 included an article written by Mary Standard entitled "The 10th Anniversary of the Buckfield Sumner Swap Shop." The swap shop was established in 2007 to serve Buckfield and Sumner residents and to decrease the total tonnage going into the waste disposal system. Sumner pays 35% of the fees and Buckfield pays 65%, with that division based on town populations. Over time, the volunteers have been Sumner, Buckfield, Hartford residents. Lee Holman, a Hartford resident and swap shop volunteer, said that currently there are 3 Hartford residents that volunteer on Wednesday and 2 on Saturdays. Cameron Hinckley, town manager of Buckfield, said that he only became aware of the issues over the last few months. Chapman focused the discussion, stating that leadership and direction are currently needed. At the earlier Solid Waste Committee meeting, Savage recommended designating Don Berry to be the interim coordinator. He will have the volunteers meet several times before the February meeting to create better communication and to survey what the volunteers feel is working well and what might be improved. It was agreed that the current rules will be followed at this time. Chapman made the motion that Sumner accept and renew their agreement of the transfer station. This motion was seconded by Savage and so voted. The next meeting will be held as part of the Sumner Select-Board Meeting on February 27th. 5 heat pumps have been installed by Eco Heat Maine, 2 in the fire station and 3 in the town office. 1 heat pump in the office seems to be setting off the security alarm. Oh, yes. The office staff will work with Eco Heat and the security company to work this out. There was also discussion about who should be on the contact list if the alarm is set off when the office is closed. All 3 select board members will be listed. The town office is looking to hire a cleaning person. Anyone interested can call or email the office. The planning board has 2 vacancies available, and the school board has 1 vacancy available. As far as upcoming events, there was no select board meeting on December 26th, 2023. There will be a warrant, and the select board members will review and sign. And we did. Next meeting is tonight, January 9th, 2024. The town office holiday hours were closed December 25th and 26th, and closed January 1st and 2nd. And the previously announced date of January 3rd was carried. Buckfield Sumner Solid Waste Meeting will be on February 27th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at Sumner Town Office. The Sumner Select Board Meeting was adjourned at 7:43 with a motion by Wallingford, seconded by Chapman, and so closed. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Back on the report for the resilience project, you mentioned that efficiency Maine was the rest of the funding is actually a community action grant, not just efficiency Maine paid for the balance of heat pump fees, but all of the comes from community action. May have missed part of this.
Community action.
Community resilience partnership, community action grant. So the funding, may I give you that? Thank you. Efficiency Maine is just the balance of the heat pump side.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Silver.
I was wondering whether you had a chance to read my report on the swap shop, which was also in the town report.
Yes, yes it did.
So I think there should be a correction in that because of the selectmen. I and several members of Buckfield selectmen and Judy Berg, who was also on the committee, we were the ones who originally thought of starting the swap shop. And we worked on it for about 15 years because there was so much pushback from other Buckfield selectmen. So it took many years to get that small shop going. And we did the research, in fact, Judy Berg, who still has a residence in Buckfield. She took a lot of pictures, and I have the folder with that information if you need to get that. Mary Standard also applied for Maine Community Foundation grant for $4,500, which was approved by Maine Community Foundation. In fact, I was on that committee at that time. That allowed for insulation and electricity to be brought into the squat shop. And so she was one of the very first people who volunteered for that. This one. And that's important.
Okay. So, I would recommend that we make these amendments and then verify that they're correct, and then we'll vote to approve these after we make these corrections. And I'll send you, I'll email you a copy of the amended minutes. You can just verify that they're correct and
That's fine,
accurate.
but if you'd like to see the folder with pictures that you referred to and the information and the newspaper articles and all of that, I have some.
Okay, cool, awesome. So we are not gonna make a motion to approve these until we amend them. We'll take a look, make sure we got it accurate. Okay. The board signed warrant number 12 for $184,783 in checks, and we had $134,685 in receipts, and we are now up to 75% of our real estate taxes collected. And once again, like last meeting, if you guys would like to see the breakdown, it's printed on the back of your agenda this evening. Okay. Open session. We'll open the session up for comments from members of the town, if we have any. Questions, comments, concerns this evening? Yes, Cheryl.
I just have a comment in general. Right before we came, I was watching the news, and the state is closing till noon to let people drive safely, and I didn't know if you wanted to do that for this office tomorrow, if the weather's going to be very bad. Just a suggestion.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to get a direct response from the board as to what the status of Craig Collins is and whether or not the town has any plans to do anything with regards to that position. Just a straight answer.
So the answer is yes, we do.
We do what?
We do have plans to address that, and we have visited with Fred, and we do know that he's certainly not planning on doing this forever, and we have circulated some ideas of for what we could do looking forward, one of which is getting a volunteer from the town to go through the training and then essentially accompany Fred to learn the ropes, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Sorry, not.
All right, okay. And then basically decide as a town how many hours or days of the week that we want to pay that individual to carry out those duties. So that's about as far as we've got at this particular juncture.
Is there anyone gonna spearhead that effort? And has there been any time frames established on what you'd like to start it and finish it? One way or another?
So,
Not currently. I had spoke with Fred at probably, I don't remember the exact date, but it was the beginning of December. They basically ran this whole idea by him. So what we would like to see ultimately is, I mean, Fred's going to be reappointed as our CEO. We're halfway through this fiscal year anyways. But moving forward and trying to have vision down the road as far as, you know, where we're gonna end up and needing a code enforcement officer. Everybody has the same idea. Maybe we can borrow somebody else's for when we need it, et cetera. But our idea, or what we've kind of tossed around, is if we can get somebody that's actually, not to use age as a factor, but somebody that's maybe semi-retired, that has a little more time on their hands, that could accompany Fred when he has inspections, learn the ropes, go through the courses with the state, learn all the knowledge that Fred has in regards to all of this, and then that way when Fred either retires and he's perfectly fine with being replaced as well, but that's going to take a little bit of time. As far as an exact time frame, we don't have.
we had one individual that was interested, and then his priorities kind of realigned, so at I guess to be frank, we're kind of back to square one on that at this particular moment. But we haven't advertised that at this point. Mr. Silver?
Have you considered hiring someone who is jointly with other towns as a CEO? Because not one town really has full-time work, there's Hartford, there's Canton, there's Schofield, there's Sumner. That might be a good solution to have someone who could get partial salary from all these towns and have a full-time job.
Yeah, I talked with Joelle Whitman, and I've known her for quite a while, and she has downsized the amount of towns that she currently covers. But I asked her if she had any ideas for people, and she did give me a couple of names. And then John Stewart, who's the code enforcement officer in Bethel, same thing, and he just quit like a month ago as CEO of Bethel. So far, everyone I've talked to has either been more than busy or looking to get out of it. But it's a very good idea, and I definitely do more due diligence as far as calling around on that. Yes?
In order to hire somebody part-time, they've got to go get their license, don't they?
They do.
Their plumbing inspector's license and everything.
That is correct.
Is it not true that they can be in the process of getting their certification and be employed at the same time?
I believe that
I believe up to 1 year.
I believe that is the way it should.
Get themselves
You know, in the meanwhile, what do you do? The one issue that I've had, the state inspector that Fred supposedly reports under, came on site with members of the select board, the previous select board, and with Sherry. And Fred was instructed to get a plan from the property owner. And once that plan was approved, that person was going to have 30 days to implement. Fred never would return calls to say, because they put in some kind of solution. He never would respond to say, here is what the plan was proposed by the landowner. This was the plan that was approved, and it was implemented. So I don't know if the property owner submitted a plan to Fred, if Fred approved it, or if it went to the state and they approved it, but it was supposed to be in compliance with the state's specs.
Well, Fred wouldn't have approved the actual plan, it would have been by a site evaluator. He wouldn't have any actual ability to approve or any of that stuff. He would inspect an already approved, an already licensed site evaluator would actually make the plan, and he would have inspected to.
Who would approve it if not Fred?
It would be inspected and approved at that point, but as far as the actual plan, he doesn't approve the plan. He
No, I
approves the installation of said plan. And as far as my conversations with Fred was that was all going to be handled with Brent Larson, and that was going directly to him. So
So I should contact Fred Lawson.
I don't know. That's the only part that I don't know was or was not in compliance was, I know that they put an outhouse in of some sort. We're not allowed to go on the property anymore, at least me specifically, because I've been told I can't. And so I don't know, and technically Fred can't actually inspect it either, because he's been told he's not allowed on the property. So I don't know where that falls. So, you know, Brent wasn't even gonna go, the day that we all went over there, Brent was reluctant to even walk onto the property because they have no trespassing signs. So, I don't know how the escalation of, I guess you'd call it force, isn't that what you call it, the military escalation of force is? I don't know what the next step for Brent would be, with some sort of a search warrant. I have no idea on that one.
Would you like me to call Brent?
I'd like an answer, you know, and, you know, if it takes some, you know, legal action, then we'll do that.
Right.
I don't want to do that. But I think we're owed an answer. And an outhouse is in compliance with a year-round residence. It isn't. I'm not an expert, but I read the spec.
Right, I don't know. All I can do is the guy that was here with Brent Larson, and if it's accompanied with an outhouse with a gray water system that's in compliance. And he's the one that inspects and enforces LPIs, so. All I can tell you is the conversations I had with him up right here at this town office, so.
I'll call and find out where that got. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Yes.
I want to monopolize this, you're getting to know me too much now. The question I had was in regard to the roads and road committee, and what the plans were to reconstitute the road committee. The reason I'm bringing that up now is because the plowing contract is about to be due, the plowing for the roads. And we will have to consider whether we're going to perhaps move to our own plowing in the winter or not, and if we are, what we'll do, what the priorities will be, so that the road committee can work with Sean in determining what the future will be for that. And it's better to work on that now than at the last minute.
Certainly, right, have the committee with the plan in place by spring. Yeah, so I have spoken with several contractors, and David Bragg has agreed to put his name in the hat to be nominated for the roads committee, and Eugene Lucas is thinking about it, and that's as far as I've made it for volunteers at this point. Yeah,
Steve Nowak,
yeah.
who's been in excavation and running equipment for all of his life, he agreed to.
I would be willing to do this for a while. that Cliff McNeil indicated to me that he might be interested, and I thought that Pam Farr, whose husband died, but who ran the business for him, she might be willing to spend some time on it. She's very busy too, but
I did talk with Pam, and that's what she said, that she was really, really busy at the time, but I can check back with her. I have seen her in town a lot more lately than I had last year.
she's really a fountain of knowledge. And Cliff McNeil was chair of the roads committee, he was a selectman, he was a selectman for 9 years. So he knows quite a bit about construction and most of the suggestions are.
Well, I think we have enough names. We could give them a call over the next couple of weeks and to make nominations the next meeting.
Somebody else I want to reach out to as well.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Mark. All righty. Doug, fire department report.
Well, we got our tanker sticker, so we get the part for that one, will be ready to go. Thanks to Sean, we got our fuel set up here, so we're gonna have to go out of town with fuel. We had Gordon Fournier finishes firefighter 1 and firefighter 2 class, and we're gonna go with that. And then with the grant, we got all 12 of our guys measured up for gear, and that came to $34,000 with all the shields. Good, we got that. So we're doing pretty good there in the grants for $38,000. That's about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. What was the scoop with the old tires? Did you guys end up offloading those, or?
Yeah, we just had to take care of it. There is someone that was talking to me about keeping the old ones, probably going to do the tires on the utilities, which we should be doing shortly. Assuming he's not trying to get a sticker, he's going to get a sticker away.
John, road report.
Yeah, considering the storm and the damage that everybody else had, I think we figured out really pretty decent around here. I think I spread probably $15,000 worth of gravel out in a week's time and had it all straightened back out again. That's pretty good considering the damage that I see other towns had. I believe I pretty well got everything. There's a couple small places. If it probably will thaw out again, I can probably get some more gravel and fix them. But no, everything's in pretty decent shape right now.
She want her name? Well, we had just wanted to read a quick note. We got a letter from a citizen in the town, and I just wanted to read it. Yesterday I called Sean and asked that a couple of pylons be placed around the recent storm water cut on the side of our road on Fields Hill Road. He immediately responded by cleaning out the block culvert and placing 2 pylons adjacent to the washout. Today he repaired said road. My wife and I greatly appreciate his quick and efficient response. So, thank you, Sean.
Yeah, that's right, yep.
Any animal stories this week?
No, it's really been pretty quiet. I had 3 labs last week out touring around, but I guess they came back within the hour. And that's about all I had for the month on that.
Okay, forms of support, reports, correspondence. Elected officials workshop, January 25th, 2024. Registration is currently open. If anyone is interested in attending, it's a Zoom webinar. I know I can't attend, but you guys are.
What's the date on the 25th? And what are they? I think that I have a copy of what they were on my email. I'll get back to the office first of the week and I can attend that or not.
Okay,
And Diane will be attending.
excellent.
They usually record those webinars as well.
Sometimes.
We're gonna ask them what they would, because even attending after the fact, if you know, or not.
Yep, for sure. I can definitely watch one.
Ask.
I'm definitely, if a workshop pops up for, training on policy, I could definitely use it. Okay, the, municipal building plowing contract.
Go back.
Oh, yep, I missed one. The James McCarthy homestead exemption.
Mr. McCarthy lived and had his homestead exemption here in Sumner. He has purchased a house in Norway, I believe, and he got the homestead exemption applied to both properties. So he let us know, and so he will have to pay more taxes.
We'll take them.
So because he has the property in Norway, he left that one on the homestead exemption and now we're taking him off from those.
No one can have more than one
Right,
homestead
right.
exemption, and it just wasn't taken care of by the assessors
Okay,
to remove it here when it was placed in Norway.
all right.
Okay, now to talk about the revision of the plow contract. The nuts and bolts of the amendment is that Johnson Excavation requested that he be listed as the individual to be tasked with repairing any damages that he might cause if it's wet and they overplow and end up tearing up the yard or things like that. And we thought that was reasonable to allow him to fix his own mistakes or damages should they damage something. The other thing that got overlooked was that if we need them to push back the banks with the bucket loader, their hourly rate will be $120 per hour. Those are those are the amendments. So, I guess I should probably,
Make a motion to accept this contract with the amendments stated.
and I second that. So, all in favor? All right. Mary Ann? Would you like to talk about the resilience project?
So this project initially began the 26th of October, and so we have finished 1/4 of the annual process for what's happening. We had 4 tasks that were to be accomplished. One was the heat, well, the first one is the insulation, second was the heat pumps, third is the lighting, interior lighting, and fourth is upgrading appliances. And so the heat pumps were done, and I just need the date when they finished the work. I can get that from Diane. And then, so the 2 heat pumps in here, is there 2 in the office proper and 1 in the kitchen?
Yeah. Yes.
2 and 1? None in the map.
Well, there's one in the bathroom, one in the office.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I've been asked, we have to provide a quarterly report to them, to the state, to the Governor's Office of Policy, Innovation, and the Future, which is who offered the grant initially. And so that report is due by the end of the month. So I've provided a draft so far. We've spent $15,281.50 of the $41,050 that the grant was. And that was to pay the down payment for the installation and the balance of the RIO for the heat pumps, which was $9,220. The balance of the heat pump came from efficiency Maine, which was the lion's share. It was like $28,000. And that grant was requested through Equity and approved through them. So, we still have $27,768.50 to spend, and that will be, through the installation, the lighting, and the appliance upgrade. So I wanted to ask if there anybody would like to make, comments that I could add to the narrative for what's been accomplished and what we're hoping for the rest of the I guess the heat pumps are working at it, we feel like it resolved the question of the security system being affected.
It was off the sensor, so it wasn't, I mean, it was partially the heat pump, but the sensor was bad.
Okay. Well, that's-
With the down payment on the installation, were we still able to lock in our potential date prior to the 22nd?
Diane said she hadn't heard from Matra, and I had not either, so that's gonna be my follow-up, is to contact them and find out what date they're planning to do this. All I know is it's gonna take about a week, we're gonna have 2 teams here, and at the last conversation I had with them, they were gonna have they needed a tank, one of the tankers to be outside while they do it, and they would get it done as quickly as they could. So I'm hoping that will be the answer I get from my call. Any other questions or comments about the work?
What about Don Barry and the lighting? Where we did that?
I haven't talked with him again. The only cost that we're gonna have for that is the materials. So I know the cost, the actual, what we put out of the town would be less because he's only asking for us to reimburse his insurance premium to do the work. And then the materials for the project. I will talk to this.
Is the state asking for us to demonstrate that our heating costs were X and now it's this, lighting is X, and they don't care about what the savings is?
Well, I think that's something that I think it would be helpful. It's a good point, that if we can keep track. I think if we look at, it's probably pretty easy to see what our electric bill is gonna go up some, and our fuel oil has gone down.
$400. This was almost $7. It's been.
Our electric bill has been
I believe we're tracking that, keeping our eye on that.
So if we can, so what we can do when we go to do the next quarter report would be to put some information in about that. What we see, either up or down.
Trying to help us get the next plan.
Go ahead.
Is the difference between the oil and the electricity bill paying for itself? How much of a difference?
It's too early to tell yet.
Yeah. But I think even if it, I think our thought for the resiliency committee was solar could be the next option for us. Is if we can do solar, we'll pay for our own electricity 6 months a year. So that would help.
Yeah, they're probably gonna look at the proposed projects going forward, that the previous ones were successful, and that we were attentive to what the benefits were.
Diane, I think it was you, I was talking to you, didn't the installer say that it may be that, with certain weather patterns, we may find ourselves cheaper using the oil when the temperatures are really extreme?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had the conversation
So-
with these installers, and they said, yeah, if the temperatures drop below, zero, then you want to switch back to your oil, just readjust your thermostats, because it's going to be cost effective to use your boiler as opposed to.
So there's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah.
Just if we're gonna adjust thermostats, don't get out here, because we don't wanna chuck too much out here.
Hey, here, on here.
If we're gonna adjust thermostats, don't forget the one out here, so we don't freeze our trucks up.
We wouldn't mess with the top set out, so that's checking the two first anyway.
And one other thing, I don't know if this is the venue for it, but we have come in several times and found that controller errored out, and the heat pumps off, and the oil runs. So, I think you said you'd reset it, we just reset it right before this meeting, that's why Doug and I were over there.
Yep.
Susan Strauss reset it too.
Yeah, I think we've reset it probably 3 times at least when we come in.
So do we need to talk with Equity and come over, give them a call and ask them to troubleshoot that?
Has the ones in the office need to be reset at all?
No.
So then maybe it would be good to know what the reason would be. I mean, if they can troubleshoot that and say it's happening because, out here. Anything else? Who's big house? Diane, would you call that for me?
Yep, I can do that, that's fine.
I'll make mention. Anything else? I mean, I think the summertime is gonna be, we really aren't in the season in which the heat pumps will be of more value to us as a town when we get to summer. We're gonna have heat. We may not get the kind of cold that we've had, we don't know what climate change is gonna do to us. We're clearly gonna have more heat. So,
Awesome, thanks. Moving on to new business. GWI, the high-speed internet folks had requested a place to put a storage hut, and we need to basically come up with a plan for meeting with them. Bill, did you have?
Yeah, it was, I received 2 emails, I suppose we all did, receive 2 emails from them, and just saying that they wanted to sit down with us to discuss the hut installation, with not a lot of information attached. I contacted them yesterday or this morning, and
asked them if they could send us some information on drawings, site plans, et cetera. And they did get back to me with plans and drawings, which I don't know how much that's gonna help us at this point, but at least will give us an idea of what we're looking at as far as the size of the space, and then maybe get together with them to find out if the town can benefit from having that installation on our property. So, yes.
You're talking about on the, right here,
Yes.
in the municipal, and do you have like, is it huge? Is it
No,
a
no,
little
they're
lots?
something like 10 by 10.
Oh,
It looked like there was a jog on one side of it.
right.
The footprint's 1 foot larger than the actual building size, but no, it's not a huge.
And it's just during the time of installation, right?
Pardon?
It's not a permanent.
Yes, it looks like it's permanent, because it looks like all their connections as far as
Wiring and
the
stuff.
wiring and whatever, this will be the hub for that. So hopefully the town will be able to benefit monetarily for having that installation on our property.
They'll probably have power requirements.
Oh, cool, yeah, I'm sure we'll have that.
Will he be responsible if it like gets broken into and stuff is stolen?
Those
Yeah,
are
all
all
those
issues.
questions we should ask.
Yeah, those are all issues we'll have to work
Yeah.
out. We haven't talked to them yet. This is just the beginning phases.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We
that's
should
it.
put that on the list of questions.
Yeah,
That is a good
Yeah, and I did have some questions as far as maintenance and other concerns that you may have.
So who's the project manager that you put in touch with?
Thomas, I don't have my phone with me, but Glant, is it? Yes.
Gilmore.
Gilmore.
Thomas Gilmore,
Excuse
he's the project supervisor that wants to actually, once we get the ball rolling, he wants to attend a select board meeting.
So I work with the CEO when the grant process actually came. I did have an email from them, but I'll back
Yes, Brian?
Just so when you guys go to look at site this, just remember the helipad. I know we had someone approach me about a year ago about questions about placing a structure for the returnables.
Right.
So just when you guys go look to place a structure, keep in mind the local zone around the helipad, so we don't have any.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be setback requirements for that. Yeah.
And the town has some property that might be a better placement.
I think they like this location for some reason. It seemed to fit their needs, but that is another option. Doug?
Just telling Brian, we got an old shed type building down at the town garage.
Yeah.
Might work for the bottle storage.
Bottle or even this with GWI unless they really are set right on this location. But the town garages, I mean, I don't know if you guys looked at it recently, I mean, there's holes punched through the walls and doors and stuff like that. It's not really,
It's just kind of old, dilapidated.
there's a lot of garbage in there. I don't know where that came from. Probably no one really knows.
What size is the,
I've never seen it put up, it looks fairly big.
We're talking about shed inside
The one inside.
Okay, there's like a building materials on the inside for, like I said, for some sort of shed. And then the shed at the town garage itself is pretty large. I imagine it's larger than what they're talking about for footprint.
I really think the tank is
that's a big one. Yeah, I've never been in there. I haven't either.
Is it locked up or anything?
It is locked
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
It's not that long. But, I mean,
Who has the key?
Mr. Silver?
That town garage was donated by Arlen Farr a long time ago. A really long time ago. It sits on that postage stamp on it. In other words, there's no land coming with it. Just FYI.
We may want to take a look at, I was reading one of the MMA documents about how the town, when a building's been abandoned or it's dilapidated for a certain amount of time, it has some liability there, so we may see if it might need to just come down.
So who was it that donated the other structure that we talked about in the past?
Ed Hinckley.
Yeah, so there's my memory is it's like a Quonset, but I don't think it is. Can't remember, but it was not a small building, and that's supposed to be in that garage, right?
I guess so, yeah, I've never been in there.
Yeah, it's in there.
Well, you're probably the last one in there.
The building's still there, that's the bolts and all the pieces.
I just brought some ladders down there, I don't know, a few months ago, and they were still.
Yeah, another town's fire department has thrown SCBA packs in there. I don't know where those came from, but I'm assuming one of our neighbors.
The can and bottle building, that was a grant for that building, for the scholarship committee, so that we could collect bottles and cans and don't use the money for the scholarships and that. And Barry could give you more information about that.
I believe she had gotten, the school district was going to build and donate the actual structure. I just don't know what the status is on it. We can
I
check
think it
with
was somewhere around $7,000.
Yeah, that's the school.
So, close out the GWI request. We want to,
Set a date for this meeting with them.
yeah. In February?
February 27th is our
So,
solid
yeah,
dates.
yeah.
Probably first
So,
of February.
yeah, so the first meeting in February, so,
2
yeah,
meetings.
yeah, let's see if we can set that up. Okay, all right, shredding of documents. I understand we've got quite a few documents that, we can clean house on. So do you want to speak more to that? Just 'cause other than knowing that there's a mobile shredding company, that's about all I,
So we got an estimate from a mobile shredding company that says around $200 to shred everything that we need to get shredded from previous people.
We have confidential documents, a lot of the election documents need to be shredded, we can't just dump them. With boxes and boxes of confidential stuff that have reached their limit of having to be maintained.
How much is an industrial shredder if we purchased our own?
I don't know, but it would take a long time. We probably have 15 bankers boxes so far that have to be shredded. With documents.
I know the last one our office purchased was way more than $200.
Plus we'd have to pay somebody to sit there and shred it up.
Plus you have to dispose of the shredding. Right. Because if you pay somebody $200, they take.
Yeah.
Sounds like a deal.
So, I don't know if that needs a motion, but I would, certainly, approve that expenditure. And assuming I have a buy-in on the other.
Yes, I second.
All right.
All in favor? So we don't want to go with a burn barrel?
No.
You can sit out there with the leaf blower.
Okay. Okay, one of the things that was brought to our attention was that, and it's kind of taken us a while to come around to this, is responsibility covered by individual select board members, just so that people of the town have a point of reference, or if they call the town office and talk to Diane and want to speak to someone in reference to general assistance or security. Who's the go-to person for if the security system's going off, that sort of thing? So I guess we had kind of discussed amongst ourselves who was going to tackle what, but we probably need to formalize that a little bit more so that at least the ladies in the office know who to call. Jesse, you're still agreeable with being the go-to guy for the roads related stuff, right? I know that and I don't know if anyone else is, but I'm still the call person for if the alarm goes off at the town office.
As soon as, as soon as,
I didn't pay soon enough.
we're
We
waiting,
need to put
we're waiting on
Deb
one.
Freno on the list.
We're
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes. I'm the last one that gets called.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when it's gone off, he's been the only one that's been able to respond so far because
I don't have a key.
we don't have keys yet. We're changing locks.
And the lock sets, and the deadbolt's in, and one of the lock sets are in, and I'm not having issues, but Low Lumber is having issues getting that second lock set, so it can be keyed. So the two lever lock sets can be keyed alike, and that may be in now. It was supposed to be in last Friday, but it wasn't. So I will get in touch with them and see if we can get that taken care of. ASAP.
Yes, I just want to say, my experiences in the military, I'm not one, to not be aware of alarms that going off and kind of complacency, but what happens if you were called for an alarm and you show up and there's an intruder in here? Is that part of our normal everyday business? The alarm goes off, you guys are the Ghostbusters, so
We just figure it's a malfunction.
I believe the PD does show up as well, the sheriff's department.
Unless you say no.
Yeah. So far, what's happened to me is the security company calls and says there's an alarm going off, and I'll either tell them I'm right around the corner, I'll go check it out and see if anything's going on, or they'll say we're sending the sheriff out, and he'll have a look and see if anybody's in there.
I'm just trying to save the town money of building a statue for you guys, that's all.
So I know with the security company that we used to use, they can also tell you which sensors have gone off. So like if none of the outer perimeter sensors have gone off and only an inside sensor has gone off, we kind of assume that it's a malfunction of some kind. And they can kind of give you that information up front. So if they say, the front door has been breached and there's motion sensors inside, then you probably want to make sure the police are here with you. But if it's just the office sensors going off but nothing else, then, and which is the case that's been happening, is that just the office sensors.
I don't know what that first answer is, no second, but I'll read it.
Okay, sorry, scratch that.
Having an SOP for that would be a good idea there, Chief.
There are no wireless sensors that we should consider for the town that that wouldn't need any physical installation. Any power source.
Sure.
So if you don't have a sensor for that door, I mean, what the Aaron said when I used to get calls, it was just primarily power going out or furnace not working, going out. So that was too dangerous, you know. But you're right. If there's an intruder, so there should be another perimeter set of sensors that inform that all company.
I probably need to talk with the security company and get them to give us a rundown of how they set up and design everything. As far as building maintenance goes, Bill has essentially taken the con on that. Am I speaking out of turn on that?
No, you're not.
And I have a lot to learn about general assistance. I think that at least covers what's on the agenda. Marianne, are there other responsibilities that the board had subdivided?
I think those three were the primary. So general office concerns again, kind of filled all three.
Yeah, force around.
As long as the security system is covered, the primary person who gets the call. And the decision whether to call the sheriff. Usually, when they called me, they said, "You want us to call the sheriff?" I said, "No, I'll go check." And I think there was only once or twice the sheriff actually beat me.
And I'll take the heat on that. Security system, once the new locks are in place, I'm the closest. And, or maybe we can rotate quarterly or whatever.
Yeah, who's got duty for the, yeah.
There will be trainings for general assistants, just like this elected.
Yeah, ladies, if you see any MMA trainings pop up for general assistance that I might have missed, include me in.
We can even just contact them and ask them.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. As far as open business goes, we are still looking for, here, thank you, Susan. Sumner Town Office is looking to hire someone to clean the office once a week for 3 to 4 hours. Duties will include vacuuming, sweeping, mopping floors, scrubbing and sanitizing toilets, sinks and kitchen fixtures, dusting and emptying trash cans. Times of service would be at 8 a.m. either Wednesday or Thursday morning. Most tasks will be performed on a weekly basis, but there will also be heavy cleaning tasks and special projects assigned. The compensation range will be between $14 and $16 an hour. Interviews are planned for the week of January 22nd. For more information, contact the town office at info@sumnermaine or sumnerme.com or 207-388-2866. Do we have a copy of this posted at the post office? I'll take that, Brad. Okay, awesome.
Where is that gonna get posted?
Okay.
Will you put it on the meeting page? Or is that before the?
It's on our website. Joel's recommendation was the post office.
Is there any place else to do the job kinds of things with this? Community-wide or?
What about putting it on the board?
We had it on the board for a while until we got to dog licenses. You can only read so much as you drive by.
We could get that posted on the, Hartford, Canton, yeah, the Four Towns meeting page too. Yep.
I could also include it at the beginning of the video for this meeting. Just, I can take a picture of that and just have it as a still shot before this meeting starts in video.
Yep, that'd be great. Okay. Planning board and school board vacancies and other remaining appointments. We do have a couple of potential school board possibilities that we are investigating. And we will,
Planning board too, is that?
no, that's correct. Yep. And then as far as road committee appointments go, we can call the people we discussed and find out who all's willing out of that bunch and contact them and make nominations for that next meeting. And well, I guess there's no rush. I guess at that point, we could collect from each of them their most available times and try to come up with the best potential meeting time and the frequency for the road committee meetings. Okay, all right. Upcoming events. Unpaid 2023 taxes will begin accruing interest as of February 1st, 2024. And for dog licensing, the late fee will be, am I reading this correctly? There will be a $25 late fee added if your license is submitted late. And that will also be active as of February 1st.
That's from the state. That's not a number we picked.
Is that in addition to the 6 or?
6 or 11.
Yeah.
Unaltered, I guess is the way they use.
Well, if I was responsible for it, I'd probably be paying a late fee, but I think Christie's pretty on top of it, so
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we're paid.
Yeah, we did that.
Um,
I should go back to Cheryl's open session.
Oh, yes, the weather tomorrow. Diane?
I mean,
don't take any unnecessary risks, you know, if it's really nasty, take your time, get in when you can.
Fill out the possible and get it in.
Right.
It might be good to determine that now, or set a time you're gonna determine that, so.
Really depends on the weather.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you're
All right, what time would you like to see
us to open.
it? Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with just, choosing in the morning when we really go,
Okay.
but,
Can you post on the website from home? Can you access that website from home?
maybe. I don't know for sure.
So if you can, I would say we'll definitely make everyone aware by 8 a.m. if we're running late, if you can do that.
So I'm totally okay with what's been discussed right here, but if you guys want to let me know tomorrow morning before work, I could call Stacy and she could probably get that posted to the community page too if we're going to be coming in late.
Okay, sounds good.
Reminder that we have our second Buckfield Sumner Solid Waste Committee meeting here on February 27th at 6 p.m. as part of our bi-weekly select board meeting. And we'll be checking up on how things have progressed with the swap shop and the management of that. Any recommendations for changes when it comes to rules or days open, hours, etc. We'll be finalizing our discussions and making a annual. I guess at that time we can decide. Right now, we have Don Berry as the temporary administrator for that until that date. And on the 27th, we'll determine who's going to be the permanent or appointed administrator for a year, 3 years, whatever time frame we come up with. So, okay. I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'm making a motion that we adjourn the meeting at 7:19.
Second?
All in favor? All right.